From Gaza, where promises of safety keep being shattered by reality, we look at how false hope has become a cruel weapon, draining Palestinians psychologically and forcing them into repeated displacement without finding any real refugee or security. Like so many children in Gaza, 12 years old Marah Nabhan has been forced to shoulder responsibilities far beyond her age. She now risks her life every day in searching of a bag of flour to feed her family. A journey of hardship that has crushed her childhood.
I came to the truck area because my father is injured. I had to pass soldiers to get a bag of flour. We're exhausted, so many killed, wounded, families gone. I'm the eldest, with only my 10-year-old brother left. We fear for him because he's all we have. My injured father waited outside while I went near the tank just to bring food.
Aid distribution points, run by the US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, have turned into danger zones, with civilians killed and wounded while simply trying to get flour or lentils. Even a loaf of bread now comes at the price of risking one's life.
I came back with a bag of flour, but if I hadn't, I would have gone again. I was terrified I might return to my mother dead or wounded. Sometimes I got home at 1 a.m. after a whole week with no food. My mother told me, "Better you came back empty-handed than not at all." One time I took off my shoes and ran 3 kilometers to catch the trucks. If these shoes tear, I have nothing else to wear.
Hunger has become another weapon. With the crossings closed and aid restricted by Israel, Palestinians are forced to walk long distance through dangerous roads just to find the little food. But the promised aid rarely arrives. According to the World Food Programme, Gaza needs over 62,000 tons of food aid every month. Gaza's Health Authority says more than 2,000 Palestinians have been killed and 15,000 injured at near sites run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation since late May. What should have been a lifeline has become a deadly deception.
It's impossible for one international organization to cover all of Gaza. We're talking about 2.3 million people. To prepare just 1,000 parcels, traders need 2 days to collect small amounts from different farms. That's one challenge. Farmers also face huge risks. Many have been injured or killed in these red zones.
According to the UN World Food Programme, since late July, only 47% of the targeted food aid has actually been delivered into Gaza, while Gaza's government media office says that only 14% of aid reached the people in nearly August. Recent surveys also showed that 63% of households in the south and 84% in the north depend almost entirely on aid to survive. Despite everything, some local and international aid organizations are still trying to get more aid into Gaza. But the task is nearly impossible. The people are hungry, their needs overwhelming, and resources almost gone. Aid workers themselves are collapsing on the job. They work under bombardment, share the people's hunger, and watch children faint from malnutrition. Yet, they fulfill their duty to help whomever they can.
Even distributing aid is dangerous. Large gatherings can be targeted, so we try to coordinate as much as possible to protect both the people and our teams.
Since Israel's war in Gaza broke out in late 2023, Entire Palestinian sites have disappeared from the map. Rafah in the south and Beit Hanun in the north lie in ruins, with no life left, only the sound of wine through the rubble and the echo of absence. With every new bombardment, Palestinian civilians are pushed to leave. They are told by Israel to move to so-called safe zones. But soon, they discover these words are nothing more than a painful illusion.
The potential displacement of possibly hundreds of thousands more people from the north to the south will be catastrophic. And that is what we've said. And the point that is very, very critical to stress is that people must be able to receive assistance wherever they are. So whether it's north or south.
Israel has begun its military offensive to invade Gaza City, the territory's largest urban center. Its stated aim is to push the population south into al-Mawasi, where there is no space left for anyone. According to UNRWA, 1.9 million people, almost 19% of Gaza's population, have been displaced at least once since October 2023. And UN satellite analysis shows that 78% of all buildings across the Strip, more than 192,000 structures, have been damaged or destroyed.
Israel's Security Cabinet, instructed the IDF to dismantle the 2 remaining Hamas strongholds in Gaza City and the central camps. Contrary to false claims, this is the best way to end the war and the best way to end it speedily. We will do so by first enabling the civilian population to safely leave the combat areas to designated safe zones.
Al-Mawasi, west of Khan Younis, was the most prominent of these declared safe havens. Today, it is crammed with hundreds of thousands of civilians in tattooed tents, without water, electricity, or services, under constant threat of Israeli airstrikes. For al-Ghay's family, like so many thousands, living here feels like waiting on the edge of death.
We live in fear day and night. We sleep and wake up terrified. We say, thank God we woke up. Thank God we are still alive, while so many others have been killed. In El Mawasi, the drones fly so low over the tents. We keep thinking, will they shoot? Did they strike? Will they come back? It's terrifying. Yet we still say, thank God we're alive.
The Ghay's family has been displaced multiple times, losing their home, and then the home of their relatives, where they were sheltering. Today, Khitam and her husband Ataya live in a small tent, spending their days standing in long lines waiting for food and medicine, at the risk of leaving empty-handed. Their days full of fear and hunger. Tents that poorly chilled from the heat or cold have become the last refuge. As the bombing continues around them, there is nothing left for these displaced Palestinians but to cling desperately to hope.
I am exhausted mentally. At my age, I shouldn't have to fetch water and cook. My children, God rest their souls, should have been the ones to support me, but they are gone.
For Gaza civilians, every day has become a fight for survival between hunger, displacement, and constant bombardment. In Gaza, promises of safety collide with the reality of booming and hunger, turning false hope into a daily nightmare. And as the land shrinks around the Palestinian people, so too does the hope of ever finding a truly safe place in their own soil. Elina, al-Yazji, CGTN, Northern Gaza Strip.